Alright, what's going on, boys? We got a trade recap today for Tuesday, May 26th. And as you can see, the evals are finally passed. Super glad to be done with them. So have a set of 3 that are now passed. And we're going to be back on XFAs, back to regular trading, which is all that I really wanted. I hated being on these evals for about a week. Yeah, just super glad to be done with them. But the trade this morning was a textbook trade that I would have slapped on heavy risk on normal XFAs had I already passed these. Like, this was incredibly clean. Longs to all-time highs. So we're going to go over the bias real quick and what I was looking for coming into the market open. This is what we looked like coming into the market open. I have NQ on the right side of my screen here. And we looked bullish. I said, right now the 1 hour structure is telling me bullish. We're currently flipping higher from a 4 hour gap. There's still potential to come down and tap the new week opening gap that opened up. But we don't have to do that during the first New York AM session of the week. So if structure is bullish, I'm not going to try to force shorts just because that new week opening gap is there. So I said, good draws on liquidity on both sides of the market. The goal is just to let the market tell us where it wants to go. And right now it's telling me longs to all-time highs. And longs are exactly what we ended up getting. And the reason I had incredible confidence in these longs is because we initially started to sell off when the market opened. We can see market opens here in this first 5 to 10 minutes, sells off. And actually, during this time, ES sells off and takes this 1 hour low. So we create an SMT at the lows. And I'm like, okay, well, there's potential. Like, if we're going to sell off right off market open, there is potential to keep on selling off and potentially come hunt this new week opening gap. And so there is potential for NQ to continue to follow ES, come down to the sell side, and eventually this new week opening gap. However, ES started to reject this sell side down here, and then NQ put in an SMT. We didn't even come down and take this low. So kind of like a double SMT. And then we reject really hard off of that area and price. And you can see this next 5-minute candle opens up and just a very bullish displacement candle, almost 75 points. And then the key, so we run through this 5-minute gap. So that tells me, okay, we failed lower. If we wanted to go lower, we would have probably held this gap. We would have done so already. We already came up, swept this internal high, and displaced lower. If we wanted to go lower, we would have done so right here. We then run through this 5-minute bearish gap. And the key here was this 15-minute. It was the first 15-minute candle of market open. Look at this rejection candle. You can really see the rejection on this 15-minute. And then we closed the candle above these pre-market internal highs. And so this confirmed to me that we were going to go higher. So at this point in time, after this 15-minute candle close, it was also this 5-minute candle close. This 15-minute candle close above the pre-market internal highs tells me we're going to go higher. And I had enough confidence at that point in time to set a limit order to go long. However, the limit order never got filled. The original limit order for me was right here for a 1-to-1. So you can see we close this candle, the next one opens up, and we never tap where my limit order was. So this initially ran without me. And so I'm just sitting here. I'm like, dang, this sucks. Like, the draw on liquidity is super clear. I'm trading an eval, right? And I only need negative RR because the way that I trade these evals is I risk the whole $2,000 balance to make $1,500. The goal to pass in 2 trading days. So in reality, all I need is a 0.75 RR trade. I'm sitting here. I'm like, dang, like I should have just entered on the candle close. And I thought this was going to run without me. However, once this next 5-minute candle closed even higher into the range, I'm like, okay, if we come down to this 5-minute gap, that opens up, I'm willing to go long. So I moved my limit order up a little bit, so my stop loss came up a little bit. And you can see we came down, tapped the 5-minute gap, and pretty much immediately respected it and got bought up to the all-time highs. So very clean limit order tap. And then my take profit, because I'm trading that negative RR, was literally right here. You can see 0.76. So yeah, it was a 0.75 is really all that I need. Risking that full $2,000, only need 1,500 to pass these evals. And so yeah, I was literally in and out of the trade in just a couple minutes. But obviously, the target was all-time highs, which was also equal highs on the hourly chart. Had I already been on XFAs, the entry would have been the exact same. The only difference would have been, if I'm placing a limit order, I'm probably going to wait for a 1.2 RR or better. So the limit order would have been a 1.2 within this 5-minute gap, and it would have gotten tapped as well. So should have been a win all the way around. It would have been a win all the way around no matter what accounts I was trading. But like I said, just happy to be off of these evals, back onto the XFA, and because I feel like I can just focus on trading. It's really easy to get fixated sometimes and be a little bit more emotional for me personally when I was on these evals, because it's like, okay, if I don't pass these, or if I lose one trade, I'm going to have to buy whole other 3 accounts, right? And I found success basically full porting the evals, and literally all you need is 2 negative RR trades to pass. So yeah, I say all that to say I'm just glad to be back on XFAs with a built-in 4-trade buffer, so I can literally solely just focus on the charts and the candles and the executions. And nothing changes. Literally nothing changes. I just gotta trade the way that I know how to trade. And yeah, excited, stoked to be back at it. So today's Tuesday because we had that. We had the. What am I trying to say? We had the bank holiday. I don't know why I can't speak. We had bank holiday yesterday for Monday, Memorial Day. So we have all the rest of this week to trade, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, not going to force anything, and I keep doing me. And glad to be. I don't know why. Maybe if I reload it, I can just show y'all. Maybe it'll be out on XFAs. You have no active accounts. Let me log in. Okay, well, they'll probably load at some point in time. But yeah, we'll be on 3 XFAs, copy traded, and this is the next step in the process of scaling up. So we'll see how it goes. Of course, gonna be here to be as raw and authentic as possible, and excited to get after it. So that was my trade this morning. Those were all my thoughts coming to the market. I know some people in the free Discord did catch longs as well. If you want to join the free Discord, it'll be the first link in the description, and then code FST on all your favorite prop firms will get you the best deal. I know Alpha Futures is running 25% off throughout the rest of the month, I believe, with their new Alpha Trader platform. And I've heard really great things about it. So other than that, that's all I got. Appreciate you watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow back on the XFAs, ready to get after it, be disciplined, and yeah. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.